Welcome to
Say something brilliant and
Right.
we don't capture it.
Yeah.
Starting to get the old man lines, so.
Yeah, that's why I look better in glasses now because it hides everything.
But the lights, the extra lights, they fill in the wrinkles, and that's why the stars like to be well
They
lit.
like the lights. I didn't know that.
It's all
Takes away
about
the
the light.
shadows that the cracks create.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sound very low to me. I wonder if it's...
I hear myself just fine.
Okay. I think the volume on my microphone was very low.
My settings should be fine. I always do a mic check before and it came out all green.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the volume. I always keep the volume on my microphone lower because I don't want to hear my own voice. But since my headphones are plugged into the mic, I also don't hear your voice. So,
But that's because it turns it all down. Yeah.
yes, it turns everything down. But this is better. I can hear my voice, and I can also hear yours now.
Yep.
So now we're cooking with grease.
Yeah. Big old greasy mess.
Yeah, man. So
Welcome
what's
back.
happening?
Back to work, huh?
Back to work today. Today, this is my first week back since the trip.
Yeah. Ballers.
The big
How was
trip.
it? How was it?
Yeah, we went to Oahu, Hawaii. And I'd never been there before.
Nice.
It was a horrific flight.
I bet.
I'm not
Horrific
just talking
as in long, or you had bad experiences along
all of
the
the
way?
above. All of the above. Freezing cold flight, first off. And I'm already a kind of a cold-blooded person. Like I prefer it warm if I have a choice.
Yeah.
And airplanes, you can take the AC off, your own individual little AC. Well, I took mine off. Holly took hers off next to me.
Still freezing.
But no one else in the plane did. So
Couldn't
we
get a
had
blanket.
blankets on, and it was 9 hours of Arctic blast.
Just 9 hours on the airplane?
9 hours.
Oh, dude, that would bother me. I would have anxiety.
Well, on top of it. Okay, so they had the television screens on the back of the seat, right? So you can watch movies. Yeah, it's free movies, free TV shows. I'm excited. Hey, I plugged my headphones in. I went to, I think I picked, the plane is where you watch the shitty movies that you've
Because
been
you've got
putting
nothing
off.
else to do.
You have nothing else better to do, and you say,
Right.
I'll watch that when I have nothing else better to do. And it's on a plane. That's when you have nothing else
There
better
you
to
are.
do. So I picked Dungeons and Dragons,
I've seen it.
the movie they made
With
what was it?
Chris, what's his name?
Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez. It's got an interesting cast.
Not horrible.
Well, that's what I've heard, that it's not horrible. So I was like, this is
Yeah.
the time. I'm going to watch
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got my headphones plugged in, the little menu. Well, at first when we sit down, the screens, they're saying the screens are not working right now. We're going to have to reboot it. And I'm like, it'll be fine. They'll reboot it. We take off. We're fine. 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the flight, 20 minutes into the flight, the screens are still rebooting. They finally come on, and I'm like, yes, all right. I go, and look, they have Dungeons and Dragons. I'm super excited. They have it.
Right.
And
Perfect
I press
scenario.
Play. I press play. It starts, the opening title and whatever. And about 5 minutes into the movie, it just freezes.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So I like press pause, press play.
Yeah.
It starts playing again. I'm like, I'm good. We're good.
Okay. It was just buffering or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
20 seconds later, it freezes again.
Oh God.
And this time it does not return. Everything else on the menu works. So I get out of the movie.
Okay.
I restart it.
Yeah.
Watch the same 5 minutes
Same 5
again.
minutes.
And it freezes again. The same spot. Dude, 9 hours. I could not get a single movie to play longer than 5 minutes.
Did they comp you like free snacks or something like that? Did you complain?
No, I got jack shit.
You complained?
I mean, they gave us snacks, but it wasn't comp. I mean, it was
I mean, you told them like, hey.
I told them, I'm like, my screen's not working. They're like, I'm sorry, sir. We don't know. We tried rebooting the system. Like it kept rebooting. I could tell they were rebooting it, but it just was not. And then of course, Holly next to me is watching.
Hers worked?
Yes. Charlie's on the other side of me also worked. I had
and it's not like you can share because you have your own headset or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm the only person on the plane, the movie lover.
Oh my God.
Who can't watch a movie.
For 9 hours.
For 9 hours.
What did you do? Just looked?
Dude, I tried to sleep.
Looked around.
I
can't sleep on airplanes.
I can't sleep on an airplane. It was horrific.
It's the worst sleep. Like anytime I slept on an airplane, I wished I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You feel horrible.
Yeah. It was horrible, dude. So freezing cold, can't watch a movie. 9 hours go by. We finally land. And I'm not even kidding you, dude. Okay, so Holly was a little nervous about the flight because we've been reading in the news, specifically with the airline we chose. I will not mention here. But, some shit's been going down with some planes.
Okay, yeah.
So we were a little, once you take off, you're like, all right, we're good. We made it, And then the next nervous part is the landing. Dude, we land on the island, and I'm not kidding you. As the wheels touch down, okay, so this big. We're sitting in the center row of the plane.
Okay,
and there's this big console above that has all the ACs and everything on it. That's where the oxygen masks fall down and everything. One of the pieces, the plastic pieces of the plane, like about 5 rows in front of us, just falls down, down on top of the dude who was sitting there. And he's like holding it up like, oh shit. Like, and the plane's like, we're all like, "Rah!" And this guy's like, "Rah!" He's like, help. The stewardess comes over, a dude, male airline. I don't know what they call them now. Stewards? Maybe.
I mean, if he's not a stewardess, he's a
right.
steward.
But I don't even think they call them the women stewardesses anymore. I think they call them something else. But
flight attendants.
Flight attendants, yes.
Yeah.
The dude's like trying to push it back up into the ceiling, and it's not. And you can see the cables and shit.
Oh my God, that's why your TV didn't work,
dude. Suffice it to say, we made it.
Man,
we made it, and
9 hours.
9 hours to get to an island in the middle of the Pacific. And let me tell you, here's the other thing. I got sick. I was sort of feeling sick on the plane, and the cold air really did it. I went from 40 degrees, what it felt like on the plane.
Fever sick?
Oh yeah, like I was. Oh man, like the Monday, I was not feeling well at all. But anyway, so I was sick the first 2 days. We did a lot of stuff. We had a great time. But my thoughts on Hawaii, at least Oahu, after being there for a week, is that it is like America vomited and shit all over a beautiful island. Mm-hmm. That is my.
How so? Let's hear. I think I understand what you're saying, but
yeah,
it's commercialized.
It's so commercialized now, but it's also so America, which I was expecting it to be.
Hawaii.
Yeah, but when you're on the interstate in the traffic, and the signs all look like the interstate here, like it just felt like I was in another state with beautiful mountains,
right?
And everywhere you turn, there's a gorgeous view, but then there's like ramshackle houses and homeless people everywhere. And it was a weird combination of like uber wealth, like every high-end store you could imagine. I mean, dude, you walk down, every mall has a Rolex store. Yeah. There's 2 Tesla dealerships on the island, which is weird. I don't know if you've ever been in a Tesla store, but there's Dolce & Gabbana and Cartier
all the big name
Gucci. I mean, all of these stores, and then 2 blocks over, it's like a homeless encampment and huts and
because all the wealth is flying in there like you.
Yes, exactly. The tourists are rich, and the people who live on the island are for the most part poor, except for the rich people who have houses on the island. But
right, which aren't native.
they're
to
not
the
true.
island.
Yeah, they're not the true natives.
Yeah,
but
just
no, we had
buy it.
fun, man. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
We had fun. Once I got better, it was fine. We went to the ranch where they shot Jurassic Park and Lost and
Yeah,
Mighty Joe Young, and it was
That's
a really
pretty cool.
good experience. Charlie got to swim in the Pacific.
What was Mighty Joe Young? Is that like a big gorilla or something?
Yes,
Okay.
one of the big gorillas.
Got it.
I think they did Disney did a remake with Charlize Theron in the early 2000s. I think it was a good movie.
Did you spend some time on the beach?
I went to some
You don't
beaches.
seem like a beach person.
I'm not
to
a
me.
beach person.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm rocking a tan.
Yeah.
Not so much.
No, I know.
And look, I was in the sun, but I didn't really tan. But yeah, we went to some beautiful beaches, but they were so like some of them were so crowded with people. It was like I'm not getting in that water. That's not If I wish I was a surfer because that looked really fun.
Had some legit waves.
The waves, dude.
Yeah.
Like 10 foot and higher waves.
That's got to be pretty cool just to be
coming
around.
in.
Yeah.
Oh, just watching people do it. It was actually fun. But
that's cool.
Yeah, no, it was a fun trip, man. I don't think I would ever go back though.
What about Pearl Harbor? Did you do that?
Yes, we did. That was the first day, actually. We went to Pearl Harbor the first day.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird because there's all of these people there. I'm just going to say this. There are a lot of, I don't even know what the proper term is now, Asians in Hawaii. I don't know if they're Japanese.
For Hawaiians?
Not the native Hawaiians, but they do live, a lot of them do live there.
Okay.
But I didn't know if they were Japanese or Chinese or Vietnamese.
Okay, so Asians.
Yeah, they're Asians. But they're everywhere.
It's okay to call Asians Asians. It's not
I realize that. But I don't know. But I'm just saying, I didn't know what their nationality was. I just knew they were.
No, that's difficult for me and you to pinpoint.
Right. But being at Pearl Harbor with a bunch of Asians who I didn't know where they were from.
Yeah, you just assume they're the enemy.
I just assume. That's not.
It's safe to assume.
It's safe to assume.
You want to be safe.
I mean, I was just like, wait, are they just here as a tourist, or did they lose a loved one here in 1940?
Right. Are they proud? We did this.
Right. That is what it was. Because the Americans there are very somber. It was very somber.
Yeah.
And it's it's a grave. I mean, the Arizona, we rode a boat out to the Arizona memorial, and you can see the boat under the water. I mean, it's still leaking oil and.
Still leaking oil?
Yes.
In 2025?
Yes.
Why don't they plug that shit up?
I don't know what's going on. I mean, I guess
how much oil does it have that it's leaking oil for the past 80 years?
I don't know. Maybe
90
it struck
years?
Maybe it struck a pocket of oil under the water. I don't know. But yeah, there was you could see every once in a while you'd see oil on the surface of the water come up from.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, there's all these people that have the names of all the soldiers who died on the monument. And like I'm saying, and then there's people taking pictures and smiling and like
it's a movie set.
Like it's a movie set. Yeah. So it was a little weird. The military guys who work that were very solemn and I'm not even one of those people who's like, thank you for your service, all that, but I actually was like, thank you for your service, it was.
You felt it.
I felt it. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, there's moments when because we live in an entertainment world, it's hard to disconnect reality, but there's moments like that where it kicks in and you didn't think you would have those feelings and you have those feelings.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. And I
you
knew it was going to be that way, I guess, because I had a friend who went just a few months back. And he said the same thing. When I went, I wasn't expecting it. I'm just going, oh, it's Pearl Harbor. Yeah, a bad thing happened here. But when you're actually there and this is where all this shit went down.
Right.
It's kind of sobering, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever been to Washington, D.C.?
I have not.
That's kind of like when you're going through what is that called with all the monuments?
What is it called? I know what you're talking
you got
about.
Abraham Lincoln,
The Lincoln Memorial.
Lincoln Memorial, all of that. That whole area is full of monuments, and there's some of them are really like they're like that.
Right, the Washington Memorial. That's where JFK's eternal flame is, right?
Well, that's at in West. What's the graveyard? The
West Point? No.
Gosh, dog, caught me off guard. The military graveyard, not far from there.
I can't think of the name of it. Why can't I think of the name of it?
I know. It's where.
It's because I'm so emotional right now.
Yeah.
Thinking about Pearl Harbor.
But yeah, that was cool. I saw that. The changing of the guards around JFK's tomb.
Is it the Veterans Memorial? Is that it? It's just called Veterans Memorial? I feel like I need to search this because
Arlington
Cemetery.
Yeah, Arlington National Cemetery. That was really also very sombering. Jeez.
Yeah.
When I went.
When did you go to DC?
About 3-4 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
It's like for Christmas.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah. And when I went, there was a burial, and that was, everyone just stops in their place, and they, there's horses, and it was. Yeah. Also sombering.
Yeah, there's lots of horses on Oahu too, which I was not expecting a lot. There's a lot of horses, and I'm like, how did these guys?
I always wonder, like, how did the Hawaiians get there? Such a small island.
That's what I was thinking of.
Like islands like Japan, it's close to mainland.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Philippines is close to.
Makes sense.
Hawaii's out in the middle of nowhere, man.
It's out in the middle of freaking nowhere,
How'd
dude.
People get there.
And you don't realize how out in the middle of nowhere it is till you fly there for 9 hours. And you realize how long it takes to get, like, because it was like, okay, we're over. There was a spot where you could see, that's the one thing that did work on my screen was I could see my flight path.
Yeah, so you see you're like over California.
And so I could be like, oh, I'm over California right now. And then it was like, okay, now we're not on land anymore.
Yeah. So was that like the halfway point?
Freaking time it took.
How long from California to Hawaii?
That point was like 6 hours, I think. Dude. About, yeah. We didn't. We went from Atlanta to Hawaii. That was the 9 hours.
Right. But from Atlanta to California was 3.
Are you frozen?
I'm not. Are you? I show that I'm.
You keep freezing. Your video is freezing.
You know what? I can hardwire this bad boy. Hold on. Welcome back.
Welcome back. We've been talking with B.
So yeah, what were we saying?
Trip to Washington, D.C. and how sad Arlington Cemetery was.
Yeah. Man, that totally derailed me. That sucks. I'm telling you, we need a studio, man. Once XRP hits.
Yeah, once XRP hits. Well, I don't have as much in there as you do, but
yeah.
Crypto. Dude, Holly and Charlie are all about it now. Yeah, Holly even bought $20 the other day. She's like, I bought a little bit extra, man.
Just put a little, like, if you got extra 20.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Look, whenever I was younger, and even up until recently, really, honestly,
yeah,
I've never had the guts to be an investor,
right? Yeah.
Because in my opinion, it was gambling. Like, and
it is
gambling.
There is a level of it,
but it's a level, exactly.
Yeah,
and I feel like I'm just very conservative with my money, and I always have been, and I think that's why I actually have a little bit of money. But I feel like if I had experimented a little bit more with some investments when I was younger, I mean, damn, if you think about all the companies that started when we were younger,
dude,
that are the mega corporations
like
now. Apple,
do you
Google.
know this story? My grandfather had the opportunity to invest in Apple when they were working out of a garage.
Are you serious?
Like they knew a friend of a friend situation. And he said, no, that sounds ridiculous. What are they building? That's dumb. Yeah.
Dude, you could be coming from wealth.
Yeah, I would have come from wealth. Yeah. Yeah. So I do feel like the XRP is our Apple.
Hey, I'm hoping that you are correct in your assessment. I mean, based on everything I've read and then the stuff that you've shown me, I definitely feel like there's something that's going to happen with this thing. Whether it's the explosion we're hoping for, I don't know, but
I don't think you're going to lose your money.
That's the thing. It doesn't feel like as much of a gamble, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean,
as even Bitcoin or
all the things that are happening with the government right now point to this making money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, man. It's interesting. But were you ever? Have you always been an investor, or is this something?
No, because I've always made bad decisions with women. So that ate up my investment money.
The investment
but I
money.
have, just being in accounting and finance. I'm looking for a book. There's a couple of books on Warren Buffett that are really good, that give you a good perspective on how to invest.
Are they written by him or about him?
No. It's like one's by his daughter-in-law, ex-daughter-in-law. I think maybe both of them. And it basically it gives insight onto how his mind works when he's doing this stuff. He's not a day trader. Mm-hmm. That's the mistake. People like me and you, like, oh, I can buy and sell, and we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. It would just be dumb luck if you actually struck anything.
Yeah. His strategy is more in the long haul, finding strong companies that he believes in. Mm-hmm. That's really to dumb it down by a lot, but he also knows what he's looking at when he looks at the financial statements and, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That was the other thing, is that it never interested me. Mm-hmm. I watched Wall Street.
Yeah.
And the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Those guys seem like idiots to me. Like when they show that room in the stock market and everybody, all those day traders are like, sell, buy, sell. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a fun job. Like,
no.
Like the amount of stress.
Right.
Every day.
And then when like computers came along and you got apps, like Robinhood and those things, and makes it very easy to do it.
Right.
Is dangerous.
Very easy to lose your money.
Very easy to lose your money.
Yeah. I feel like if you invest in like solid companies, it's a pretty safe. I mean, if you think about it, your freaking 401k or your 401b or whatever it is you got is also invested in the stock market. So it's really
Well, it's a mixture between stocks, bonds, all these things.
Obviously, you're paying into it, but what you're paying into it is not going to amount to anything. Mm-hmm. They're just hoping that the investments stay solid, and that's the whole plan. But man, I don't know. I just never been into it until maybe about. It was even before you sent me the stuff about XRP. When I actually downloaded the Robinhood app on my phone, maybe I don't know, 2 years ago. And I was like, you know what? I got a little extra money that's just kind of sitting in the bank, and it's not doing anything. It's not earning a lot of interest. It's kind of it's just sitting there. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what if I just put, a few, and I downloaded the app and they give you a free $5 or whatever to start.
Yeah.
And I put it into Apple because I just bought my Apple shit, and I was, switching over to Apple. That's what I was going to do.
Right. All in.
And That's it. All I had was the $5 in Apple.
Mm-hmm.
And in a year, I earned $1.
Yeah.
I had $6.
That's not bad off of $5, dude. That's 20%.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I got $6. Thanks for listening to The Introverse. New episodes every Monday, wherever the podcasts roam. Catch us on our YouTube channel at Introverse Pod. The Introverse is a part of the Introverse Podcast Network.